Come on!
Yeah, are you okay?
No better way to start this than any. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The one character that everyone's been waiting for, at least those that live in Japan and Latin America, is here. And it's not these five other characters. It's Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury and King of Fighters.
Mister, the only way people recognize this guy is, hey, it's that trucker who constantly yells, "Come on!"
He's the guy he's one of SNK's biggest, mascot.
Yeah, he's
characters.
Basically SNK's Ryu.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that might come as a surprise to you guys is that, unlike all our other classic mode spotlights, we're actually doing this live. As I press the start button and move the intensity over to my usual 3.5.
So
and the only reason we're doing it this way is because we just finished off our Sonic Mania stuff, and we figured, you know what, we have all the stuff on. Let's just keep on going. Anyway, terribly sorry.
No worries. So let's see what happens. What is King of Smash? What is his whole King of Smash thing like?
All right, so
well, first off, they're all stamina matches.
No, I'll let James go.
Basically, Terry's Smash or Classic Mode campaign pretty much follows under King of Fighters rules. You're going to be facing fighters of 3, and of course, it's much like any other fighter. It's a stamina battle.
And yeah, it just looks like, hey, let's take 3 iconic characters from certain series and then have them pitch against them.
And also, we can also use this opportunity to talk about the stage that came with Terry. So this is the King of Fighters arena, and the interesting thing about this stage is that it's not only just like a flat surface. These sides of the stages have these invisible barriers, and you know, when you hit opponents up to them, they'll usually just kind of bounce back. You have to hit them really hard at a high enough percentage for them to actually break through the barrier, and that counts as them being knocked out of it.
And not going to lie, that is a fucking brilliant idea for a stage, and I love it.
And you know what? Weird as it's going to sound, I wonder if this is going to be one of those rare few stages that's actually going to be tourney legal.
Oh, I bet. No, fuck it. This is going to be the new Final Destination.
Well, of course.
I'm thinking out loud. No, I am genuinely thinking out loud. I don't know because, I mean, the fact that there's no... Okay, so real quick, the biggest thing that's going to determine if it is possible... the biggest... I get what I'm trying to say. The biggest thing that's going to be a deterrent... Okay, the biggest thing that's going to be a deterrent for it being, tourney, good and everything is it possible to walk off the stage to your death?
No.
So if you just start walking to the side, you will be stopped by an invisible wall.
Yeah.
Okay, then I can see it being tourney legal. That was the reason why. That was the reason why they don't like most stages with walk-offs, because it became so the meta was just hunker near the corner and wait for your opponent to get too close so you can grab and just throw them with zero effort. But if that's the case, if it does require a bit of oomph, then I could see that. I could see that being tourney legal. But anyway, so James, how does specials and stuff work?
So basically, he pretty much takes a page from Ryu and Ken in that some of his moves can actually be inputted with special combinations, much like the typical fighting game.
And also, instead of we learned that Sakurai is probably more of a fan of Fatal Fury than he is of Fire Emblem, which is saying something.
Well, you know what? It's funny you bring that up, because, if that's the case, why haven't we had any other SNK representation? In fact, for that matter, why isn't Mai in the game?
Because it's for good boys and girls. I hate that explanation. But
because it's supposed to be family friendly, even though it
has Bayonetta in it.
Okay. I'm actually going to just slightly defend Bayonetta. Because one of the big things about Mai is her idle animation has her...
Oh god! Thank god I won that! Because I'm about to follow my doom.
Her idle animation has her cleavage just swinging in full view. Bayonetta does have a skin-tight outfit that does cover that.
Well, it's also a skin-tight outfit made of hair that does strip off when she uses her attacks.
Guys, real quick. An interesting little diversion for this classic mode. Now we're actually in a level that they pretty much modeled off after the original SNK classic Athena.
Oh.
Right down to that. to a point where they actually remixed the original, one of the original themes from that game, which caught me by total surprise.
Oh yeah, I guess we should talk about that. We should talk about that. Music-wise, how much music did he get?
A lot.
50 songs.
And
Boy,
like they're not even
wouldn't it
all
be
they're not even all like Fatal Fury King of Fighters related. They actually took tracks from like other SNK franchises. Like they have a few Metal Slug ones.
I would like to note that this one character got 50 fucking tracks.
Boy,
And
wouldn't it be
the combination of 2 Square Enix characters only got 10.
I was about to try and play that off as a joke of, boy, wouldn't it be embarrassing if you were a character that didn't have more than 2 songs?
Oh.
Which really sucks because Cloud is my fucking main. And it
Which I
really pisses me off that we only get the generic battle theme from 7 and the boss theme from 7. Why couldn't we get, like, Genova, or One Winged Angel, or the Chocobo song, any other fucking songs?
I just now realized
Square be
that...
salty.
Because SNK is a lot more lenient than Square is.
Get on,
Like
get
no
on
joke.
our
I
level,
think
Square.
Sakurai mentioned it during that live stream. Apparently he actually took like they had like 50 somewhat requests for SNK songs, and he figured like they'd only be allowed to use like 10 or whatever, and then the SNK were like, okay, you can use them all. Or no, they just straight up said okay, which meant to them, oh shit, we can actually use them all.
Yeah, which is
It's
why I'm pissed off at Square Enix that they're just like, no, we're not going to let them include many of our songs. Why the fuck not?
It's called
They
SNK understands that some things are than their pride.
Not to mention the fact that SNK as a name isn't quite as big as the likes of Square Enix or Sega or Capcom.
It's just-
So they'll take whatever free rate. I mean, they'll pretty much take whatever opportunity they can to make their name known.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, if I can
So-
actually comment real quick on the character, or at least, well, his origins, I will say that, like, with my own personal experiences with SNK games, I never played an awful lot of Fatal Fury, let alone King of Fighters. I mean, I did play them a fair bit during, like, when I was really into that whole, like, when I was really testing out a lot of their games, like this, or Samurai Showdown, or, you know, one of the more popular examples, Metal Slug.
By the way,
And
Yeah.
King
just
of...
going-
and-
Go ahead, James.
I am
Oh,
going
okay,
to very badly explain the plot of this series. Trucker gets mad at Karate Master that constantly jumps off buildings.
The end.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Tell me I'm
Careful.
wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I've never played the game, so I can't say you're wrong.
Like they
I mean,
even
now that I think
explain
about
that
it-
in the video.
Now that I think about it, I know he's dressed like a trucker, but is he really a trucker?
Actually, okay, just going to say one of the things that I find funny in that whole Sakurai stream was that when introducing the background characters of the SNK stage, one of them is Geese
Geese?
Howard, and literally, I love the people in the room. He said he said his hobby is jumping off of buildings, and people laughed in the room.
Yeah. So just going back to Terry real quick on how he's implemented here in Smash, what are your thoughts on how he plays?
I mean, I like him personally. I'd say he's a little more robust than, like, even Ryu and Ken before him.
He's more of a brawler character compared to Ryu and Ken. But I like that. Even though I will mostly go with Ryu and Ken since Akuma is my main in the Street Fighter series and the closest, obviously. I still think that Terry's a lot of fun here.
Oh yeah, no.
That's-
I mean, I never had any ill will towards the guy. In fact, I will say, like, out of the typical fighting game protagonists out there from that era, maybe even a little after the fact, like say with Kyo or whatever, I still think Terry's easily one of the more distinct SNK protagonists.
In my opinion, he's terrific.
Well, again, like I mentioned before, he basically is SNK's Ryu.
Yeah, and honestly, I will also say it is still funny to me. Like At first, a lot of people were like, "Who the hell's Terry? What the heck's an SNK? And why is he in Smash Brothers in the first place?" And at first, like, there were some people that were arguing it's because him and his franchise are incredibly popular in the likes of Japan and South America.
Ooh.
But then when you actually got the live stream, it's like, no, it's actually because Sakurai's a huge ass nerd for King of Fighters.
Oh, definitely.
Which again, I think we talked about this privately, but if there was one series for Sakurai to get all, fanboying about, I'd rather have more SNK characters than more Fire Emblem characters.
Hey,
think we have
as
plenty
a
of-
fan of Fire Emblem, I agree with you.
Now, if there is one thing I will say regarding Terry's campaign, I'm not the biggest fan of. There actually is not a boss fight.
And
Oh.
I'm going to be a contrarian and say I actually think it's kind of an interesting change of pace.
Yeah,
oh,
no, I
I
actually
wait.
like this.
We fight ourselves?
Well, basically,
but-
we're just fighting a whole string of, every fighter that runs on the similar principle.
Yep.
By the way, really quick, with the whole shit, what was I
We were talking about jumping out windows.
No, Fire Emblem. I actually wouldn't mind another Fire Emblem character as long as they don't use a fucking sword. Because my problem is not that we have too many Fire Emblem characters. Yes, that's a problem. It's the fact that all of them are sword users.
And our protagonists.
Yeah, and our protagonists. Why can't we have, like, Henry or Tharja or fucking, even, I'll take fucking Edelgard because she has a fucking axe at least.
Honestly, say what you will. The more I think about it, they may as well just have all three major characters from three houses.
And success in less than I think with just that last 30 seconds from Matt alone, now this video is no longer for good boys or girls.
I'll
do you mean?
say. Actually, by the way, fun
Oh
fact
yeah,
regarding
no,
that.
I swear a lot, don't I?
Just
hold on.
yeah.
Like,
Go ahead,
What were we
James.
saying, James?
Dang it. Come on, I want to finish this off at least.
Come
There
on.
we go. Buster a Wolf, baby.
Woo!
Wolfang Fist!
Anyway, as I was trying to say earlier, the fun fact. The whole thing is Sakurai saying, this is a game for good boys and girls. Sakurai himself actually didn't say that. That was actually a translation thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can thank whoever was translating all Sakurai's text at the time for that little thing.
Yeah.
Fair.
What he actually meant to say is that the age rating wouldn't have allowed it as easily.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He wanted to keep that A rating in Japan.
Well, that's that. That was us showing off the at least the classic mode for Terry. I still need to practice a bit more with him, and all of us need to make sure we have the whole thing downloaded before we get around to, the online portion.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Which, speaking of which, I know we're all here in live and look at that. The whole gang's here.
I like how Geese is in the middle back there going, I guess he did okay.
Yeah. I consider this a personal triumph for Sakurai to have one of his idols
sure.
in his game.
Though it does make me wonder, if he's already got his idols out of the way, who are they going to save for last? For this round of fighters, anyway.
Well, he did say one statement in particular that's interesting to note on is that when it comes to bringing characters into this, he's caring more about if they'd be fun to play. Like they're definitely looking for function over form. They want a character that's fun to play more so than a character everybody knows.
Yeah.
Which is why. Yeah.
I can understand that, but here's also the thing. If you're clever enough, you can do a good fighting style for a popular character. Like, say,
Banjo.
Really quick, Doom Guy. I really want to see the Doom Slayer as a fighter, and a lot of people yeah, a lot of people will probably go like, well, how do you do that? Easy. You make each side special a different weapon. You make his final smash the BFG. You make his new grapple hook thing a side special. There are multiple ways you can do Doom Slayer. Make one of his taunts just bringing out of imp, just taking an imp out of nowhere and crushing his head or something.
Assuming they can get away with that in this game. But on that note, folks. Anyway, on that note, folks. In just a few moments, we're about to do the online portion as we usually do. But not with this session, but with a later one. Future me, you take it over from here.
Yeah, come on!
Go on, get.
All right, pass me, you piece of shit. Welcome back to our Terry Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. As we've mentioned before, it's time for the online session, and yes, as Logan not so shamelessly just alluded to there, some interesting changes have been made to the system. And
You can't stop me.
You can actually talk before you can smack talk each other before you actually start. Speaking of which, why don't you let's press the start button and get started?
Okay, there we go.
Welcome back to the Terry Extravaganza. And I mean, yes, I like that they have the freaking chat thing. And actually, for the first time in almost a year, gave like a significance to that chat box.
Seriously, like it was just sitting there looking all useless for the longest time.
It was
Oh shit!
Oh, yes.
Damn it, Royce.
We're not doing
Put
talking. I
on
get to
put
do
on
talking.
Metal Slug music, and I'm sadly reminded that there are no Metal Slug cameos in the background right now.
Don't
Not
care.
yet.
Well, it's the King of Fighters
Get the
stage.
best
Why would there
version of
be?
Final attack from
Well, I
Final
mean-
Five.
I mean, I know Theo I know Theo was a playable character in one of the King of Fighter games, but regardless, ladies and gentlemen,
SNK
yeah,
is big, okay?
yeah.
Let's not.
Oh shit!
All right. Let's be grateful for what we have and not complain over what's not it. Like the
Yes,
last
yes,
So,
Royce,
like the Pokemon fans.
yes, Royce, I do agree. We should all be good little boys and girls and actually play the game that we're given. Anyway, yeah, on that note, Royce, Aqua, since you two are here, what are your overall thoughts on Terry as a fighter in Smash Brothers?
Royce, you go first.
Well, no, I never really used. Okay, I'm just gonna be blunt. Never played 8 Fatal Frames several times, but honestly, if Sakurai is getting what
What
he
the-
wants, and I'm saying,
I
okay,
didn't
that's
even know
awesome.
I hit.
Is any of these going to connect? Okay, there
Got
we go.
one. Okay, back to you, Royce.
Oh boy,
There we go. No!
I'll take.
I
Yeah,
was-
this
I
is
might-
eBay coming out.
I had the assist trophy. While this is happening, Aqua, what were your thoughts on a SNK character coming to Smash?
Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, get in the mood.
Alright.
Oh crap, Bomberman. Oh jeez.
You know, I remember when Bomberman had a Neo Geo game.
There were no platforms. That's so broken. Oh gosh.
Oh no!
Get away! Oh Jesus! Bomberman is broken on flat stages.
What an explosive match this turned out to be.
As someone who actually play fighting games, I'm glad that Mr. Terry's in the game because Sakurai deserves his own character, and
He
also
did a lot- yeah, no.
for the guys at Evil.
Oh, Lordy.
So that's what he looks like when he does that.
I don't remember that in Fatal Fury.
Oh jeez! No.
Also, for those wondering why Matt's not in this portion of the video right now, let's just say he has work today, so he couldn't join us.
There we go. I'm done. Hang it.
Ah, look.
Oh God!
Oh jeez, that
Oh, I'm not-
fire.
Well, I guess
But
I'll
he just-
talk
but
more
he-
about.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, go ahead, Aqua.
I was saying I was going to talk more about Terry, but you go first.
Nah, never mind. The moment's long dead. Go ahead.
Okay, so for the guys at Evil, this is a great character to represent because he's a fighting icon to those
And,
who actually
Yomi-
know the King of the Fighters and Fatal Fury.
Okay, there you go.
Considering how much effort
Jeez.
has been put into this stage, you can really tell Sakurai likes this guy.
Oh yeah.
20
And for-
cameos in one stage.
Even tossing the hat.
And
Like
for people that were dumbfounded by the banjo video, there. I hope you're ecstatic.
That was crazy. That was a good combo there, though. But yeah, as we said in the other part of this video, I'm glad that Sakurai got to have his fangasm and he gave us so much. He deserves this.
Yeah, he nerded out big time. Now, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, another key thing that they changed about the battle arenas this time around is that in the middle of one, you can actually change your rules on the spot now. Again, kind of surprised it took till now to actually do so. But
No.
I figure, considering that this is the Terry spotlight, and as I said before, Terry was mostly made with 1v1s in mind, I figured this would be the most appropriate time to actually do so. And it's funny, too, because we've been thinking about doing something like this for the longest time, and, well, here we are.
It just would have always been tricky because up to this point, up to this point, if you ever wanted to do this, you normally would have to create an entirely new battle arena. It would just take forever.
I certainly have experience with that.
Maybe someday they will actually do it to the characters as well. Because those spots, it will really suck to get kicked out whenever you
there we go.
Characters during times like these.
Yeah, it would be nice. Anyway, well now.
So it begins.
Hello, my good lady. May I interest you in a Neo Geo console?
No thanks. I only represent my own brand.
That crap's expensive.
I know, right? That shit costed an arm and a leg back in the day.
Yeah. Ohio.
And I'm so sorry. Only because Icky mentioned it, I was now reminded of one of James's old review videos talking about the Neo Geo.
Ugh.
They had
Yeah.
a lot. You say what you want. That was actually some really nice editing for the time, with all the flashy visuals and stuff.
Yeah, you can thank my old associate Plotline Plus for most of that.
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, that was a whole other thing. Anyway, so yeah, stamina. As we talked about, Terry is the kind of character very similar to Street Fighter. He will always face his opponent, so you gotta be ready for that. Roy's Aqua, do you think I guess now that we're getting near the end of this DLC Fighter Pass, and granted there's still one more character to learn about for now, have any of your guys' mains been affected by any of the new DLCers? Have any of the newcomers really stuck out to you?
Let's see. I guess first off, Joker is Joker, and I like that. But then I've been trying some Hero. But unfortunately, you need to think with Hero, which is problematic because anyone who's actually good won't let you get spells. But I've been enjoying Banjo.
Oh, we have stocks, okay.
With his simple moveset that makes him feel like a main set character rather than a DLC boy. And Terry's pretty good, so I can't really pick out which one so far is my absolute favorite. I like them all equally.
Out of the two, I guess I'm somewhere between Hero and Banjo, to say the least.
Okay, I was very excited by Banjo. In terms of movesets, I think over Banjo, I think I was actually really enjoying what we did with Hero. That video notwithstanding, because that was fun. But I think I did really enjoy the stuff that Heroes, different spells and stuff bring to the table.
Oh yeah, problem is that most people can't appreciate the lovely chaos it brings.
It's almost like it's an RPG or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the full combo. Oof. He's gonna do. Oh crap! I see James trying to do those special combos. Oh jeez. Oh,
Also,
we're going in.
I feel like each of the characters represent a different place
God
that
damn it.
would appreciate.
That was good fight, though. Good fight.
Joker
Let
is-
me say for one thing, I was dealing with some bad latency there, and secondly, he's playing as a character he's better at that than I am with Terry. So
No, John, but still
I
fun.
saw. When
If you
Terry
don't mind-
went down, the hat also flew off of him.
If you don't mind my using James's comment, totally not being salty by the way, if you don't mind my using this comment as a segue to my own thoughts, and I know mine are probably going to be the most controversial, but if I could be frank, I really don't like Terry in this game.
Keyword.
Did you ever play? Did you play him in other games?
Well, my thing is not so much that I don't like King of Fighters and whatnot. I'll be frank, I haven't really played any of them, but just as a fighter in Smash, I don't know. He just felt like the way he felt and the way he controlled. He just did not feel fun for me to run around and play with. And honestly, again, another stupid opinion. I hate the fact that he has a backward special because for me, it's very easy because what I'm trying to say, because he's one of those characters that always faces the opponent like Ryu and Ken are. The game always likes to confuse the inputs whenever I have a forward and back smash. Like when I try to do forward, the game will think I do backward, and it just really annoys me.
fair enough. Anyway, now it's Logan and Aqua to that. Let's see who fails first.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. And we have
Dad,
is
that
versus SNK.
Wow. When you actually look at the two together, Simon does look like he'd be Terry's great grandfather.
All
There
right,
yet.
are you done?
Great hand.
But anyway, that being said, even though I don't like how he plays in Smash, and I know a lot of people are going to be saying, like, you're not supposed to play him as a Smash character. It's like, that's kind of why I don't like him, because I like to play Smash as Smash. I don't like to think I'm playing a different game. But that being said, in stark contrast to me not liking Terry as a Smash character, I do like his stage.
Yeah, that stage is pretty good. So I think, I think that statement alone should really go to show that how much Hype cares about like actual 2D fighters.
Well, it's not that I don't like them. Like, I do. I like Street Fighter enough. It's just that it's just an instance of when I'm playing Smash, I kind of like to keep the mentality of playing Smash. I don't like crossing over other fighting games with it.
Fair enough. Like, it would be kind of weird if you suddenly crossed Smash Brothers with, say, Power Stone gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
You
So now that I think about it, that actually would be an interesting representation. Like, if ever we got, like, say, Falcon or Rouge or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I think her name is. It was either Rouge or Rogue.
Well, no matter what the pronunciation, we got it covered.
Mm-hmm.
Although that being said, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I kind of hope that Capcom doesn't have any more representatives coming, because they already have 3.
Well, yeah, technically 2. Although technically 2 of them are from the same franchise.
Well, still.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say at most, I wouldn't mind at least one more, but after that, give Namco some love, because they only have one representative in the form of Pac-Man, and they're the people that make these games.
I will say that, like, yeah, first off, I think getting another Namco rep is first and foremost a priority, and I definitely wouldn't mind it being either Hayachi or, even though it's a pipe dream, Klonoa. If I did have to pick another Capcom rep, I was about to say, if I did have to pick another Capcom rep, honestly, I would kind of like to see a Mataratsu.
And got you!
Who is he from?
The range.
I
had no range
wolf
there.
of Okami.
Congrats.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Amaterasu. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her.
Like, I feel like she'd probably
There
be
is-
the most distinct
hang on.
out of all the possible candidates.
There is only
If anything, I'd say I say the characters that have more of a shot of getting in are the ones that truly are the pipe dreams.
there is only room for one Bishonen Bar boy in here, boy.
Dude, you do not look Bishi in the slightest.
Besides,
I
You
am
were the
cringe.
opposite of
how the
Peach.
spirit system works and all that sort of thing.
Mind if I hop in real quick to give out some quick representation?
Go ahead.
And,
I think Royce's turn next.
Yeah, Royce, hop on.
Okay, so do I go as King of the Fighters, or do I go as I mean, do I go as Terry, or...
Let's see if we can keep King of Fighters for as long as we can.
You got it.
You got it, dude.
Logan, did you ever give your thoughts on what you thought of Terry and Smash?
I think they gave a lot of. I think they put a lot of effort into. Again, between one thing I do still enjoy about these characters is the amount of attention they try to put. I mean, some characters like with Banjo. I mean, of course, that doesn't. You can't. Banjo was never considered a fighting game anyway. But with like characters like.
By the way, real quick, this is probably the one SNK character I would have preferred to actually have playable as opposed to Terry, even though I appreciate Terry as a thing.
Oh, hey there.
Yeah.
For me, it would have been Theo. Oh, for
Doesn't she?
Metal Slug.
Doesn't she appear as a cameo though in the left?
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She's in the background, which is weird because she was in the King of Fighter game not that long ago.
Personally, I would.
Well, she was in the trailer at least, so.
Yeah, she wasn't. I still feel bad for her and her talk
Yeah.
for missing the invitation like that.
Yeah, that
Look
poor
on the
boy
bright.
tried his
Look on the
best.
bright side.
Ooh.
Side.
Personally, I would have preferred my Shiranui mine.
Everybody did.
Aqua, remember, this is a game for good boys and girls.
I don't
You're
know. It's
right.
Zero's
This is a game for good boys and girls. Looks at
And
Samus.
by the way, I'd like to correct a comment I made in the other portion of the video. What I said about the whole thing being a mistranslation is wrong. Sakurai did say that during his stream, and that's why his employees are actually laughing their heads off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
that's-
also, it's a Japanese censorship thing because once you set out the EAA, whatever the
Whoa.
Well, anyway, you know, it actually makes sense because personally, I think of Maya as something of a magnet.
Well, she definitely was a magnet for fan art, because the minute she got deconfirmed, you just saw like floods of fan art from her since
Yeah.
then.
Oh,
People
let me
prefer-
finish.
So
People
it's
prefer
like
their...
even when they're deconfirmed, Sakurai still does a lot for their PR.
Anyway,
It's
you're
great.
saying,
Royce
Royce?
continue.
I mean, let's put it this way: if she wasn't around, we probably would not have been paying attention to everybody else that was here.
I don't know. I mean, there's still a couple of other interesting characters in the series. I mean, again, Terry sort of stands out for his personality or
works.
look.
I mean, I'm just talking from my perspective because I have literally almost no understanding of SNK.
So what you're saying is Boots sells.
No, what I'm saying is that you take out the magnet and you can start appreciating what's been obscured by them.
He's not wrong.
So personally, a man of culture would be with the BHW stuff.
That being said, I will agree with the statement James said that, like, I can understand not wanting her to be into the stage. I'm surprised that they still pretty much got rid of any reference to her. Like, she's not even a spirit on Terry's board.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead. Oh,
Go ahead, James. Oh, jeez.
Actually, if I could comment on something real quick before this battle's over. Thoughts on Samurai Showdown coming to the Switch, or like the new one?
I'm indifferent.
I think it earned its spot in Evo. It's a good game.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
Oh,
yeah!
Wow.
Made it close, but I'm okay.
I didn't even think I was going to win that.
But anyway, to explain that...
You know, usually this was actually a pretty much reversal. Usually I'm the one using a Mii Fighter, but...
Dang.
But
So yes, it is true. Mii Fighters are indeed broken, and they should be banned from tournaments.
Back to you, Aqua.
Don't insult the Mii Fighter. I mean...
Hang on, guys.
They were so weak in the last game. The fact they get a power-up, this is actually excellent.
Anyway.
Back to you, Aqua.
To explain the reason why Mai isn't here, the ESRB for Japan is really more strict than ours, which is very surprising because, anyway.
Japan's a much more liberal place in terms of...
But anyway, once the ratings have been decided, you have to make sure that they stay that way no matter what. Even if you put Mai in as a spirit, it will raise the rating from E10 and up to T in an instant.
Well,
of course, they could have edited the character to make her more family friendly. But Sakurai respects characters like Mai.
But honestly, I'm okay with Sakurai's decision.
So he felt like if he edited, it would be a disrespect to her character, which is why I appreciate Sakurai, because unlike everyone else who edits just to beat the board, he tries to keep the character as true to themselves.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Aqua, please, let me have this real quick.
Okay.
Talk about the biggest case of mood whiplash right now I'm seeing on screen.
Banjo is pretty much...
Oh, jeez. Hype is playing for keeps.
Ow!
Do not say no to the Baron Bird.
This is clearly a Nintendo's game.
I
did not know you did.
Yep.
You can do that.
There's probably... I wonder if Microsoft ever did another representation. I don't know.
Master Chief. It will be Master Chief.
Well, I'd say maybe that. A part of me wants to put my bets more on Cuphead and Mugman.
Oh yeah, that would be
is
great.
true.
Although okay. Well, I guess it probably would be bad if I.
Deep down, yeah, it would make more sense to have Master Chief in just because he is more iconic to Microsoft than
Actually, Master Chief has kind of been silent for the last 4 years. It's gonna be a while.
Well, they are working on that new game for the new
honestly,
production.
Oh, Roy, let's be real here. That kind of theory whole thing is relevant considering the fact that Banjo's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because, culturally, I feel a little bad for them because, as I guess you could say, what's the right word for this? I mean, Master Chief kind of reminds me of Doom Guy, but since Doom Guy is kind of like back into the ring, what people don't really focus on them that much anymore.
Oh yeah.
I guess in the same way, it's kind of like Bayonetta and Dante coming back as well.
Even though everyone would probably like Dante and Bayonetta in the same Smash game.
Okay, there we go. Are either of you two a good Karul player?
I'm a DK player.
I can do DK. I mean, Kiryu. I can do Kiryu.
All right. Well, okay, hold on.
What's being talked about here again?
DK versus K. Rool.
Do you want me to be either Karul or DK?
I'm better as DK.
So presumptuous.
Alright, hold on, I'll pick Karul.
Those are two characters that got buffs.
Good
They
on.
did?
What? With the most recent update?
Yes. Just like with Kirby, Robin, and I think one more.
Oh, god damn it. Eddie the mean old Yeti.
Respect your elders.
So let's hope they got the right map selected. If not, it's okay. So what are we doing this for, James?
As of recently, Donkey Kong Country just celebrated its 25th anniversary.
On
Aw,
the big
Dang it, I
field.
was hoping we... Oh, dang it, I had the DK back picked and everything too. Well, whatever. I mean, it makes sense, considering the fact that, yes, this is still the Terry spotlight, even though Terry's nowhere to be seen anymore.
Hey, Kate
I'm
will know how to
totally a
box.
fighter. I got
I do.
punches.
What are you saying, Logan?
I was saying K. Rool's a boxer. This makes sense.
Yeah,
What,
I mean, he
punch?
was in the boxing arena. And that,
And I know we're still waiting on the DK reanimated.
Among other things.
Hi. Did you ever watch the Zelda TV show reanimated yet?
Not yet. I didn't know it existed yet.
apparently,
I
this was
know.
on Mario.
Oh, we saw
That's
that one.
0.6.
Oh yeah, we saw that one.
Oh, that is
0.6
amazing.
HP.
Nope.
Jeez, how is he alive?
And there goes DK with Karul's bad belly bounce.
K. Rool, how are you alive?
I have no.
Ow!
Not anymore.
I don't know why that got me the timing of I have no.
No, don't. I'm devilish.
But yeah, I'm very excited. For that. I need to. Who is the voice actor of K. Rool on that show?
Ben Campbell.
Is he still around?
Because, is he
What was that?
Is he still around?
Ben Campbell?
Last I checked, he was.
What are we up to these days, actually?
Honestly, I could ask that about a lot of the actors that have been on the show. Well, most of them, like Cranky's
Yeah.
actor, unfortunately passed away a few months ago.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
You cheater.
Ah! My nuts. Give me back my nuts.
Now that I have the power, this is my finest hour.
Give me your banana horn. Yes, I'm looking at you there.
Good to be a glorious me.
So there we go. So anything else we got left, or are we done for the multiplayer smash?
I don't know, to be honest.
You know what? For the hell of it, one more free for all. But this time, and again, just to keep in theme, we're all still Terry.
Only if it,
Oh, I want.
Actually, you know what? No. Better idea. Team Terrys. Really?
Oh,
Press the triangle button to switch teams.
triangle button.
Yeah, me and Logan are red.
so
Or excuse me, not the triangle.
James will be
X
green.
button. I'm thinking fucking PS3. Yeah, X
Hurry.
button. X button.
I
And
accidentally hit. Okay, let's try this again.
okay, so Roy's and James are green, and Hype and I are
Are
red.
red.
We
There
all
we
good?
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
And
And
we're
two.
wait a minute.
Are you okay?
Mario,
Oh,
you can't.
good.
And I just love Wario, and I can imagine Wario doing the Wolf Buster, going, "Go!"
Wolf Bastois!
Yay! The theme. Yeah, theme I picked.
One of our Terrys is broken. I'm sorry, I don't know why I love
What'd you
the
say, what?
vision. I just had the imagery of like the second we all popped up, we're like, I think one of our Terrys is broken.
I think one of our Terrys let himself go.
Hey, James, you know what I realized we could do because it's SNK?
What?
Hype, as Wario say, "Whoa, big."
Whoa, big!
There you go. He's the whoa big Terry.
I miss Metal Slug X.
Oh, I just realized we're still in stamina matches.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
all family matches.
And to think that we'll probably find out our fifth character in this year's Gaming Awards.
Oh really?
I knew it.
Actually, I guess that makes sense because we found out Joker was a thing in last year's. Oh jeez,
Ow.
he did the full Buster.
Wow.
See, I guess that does make sense because we learned about the first of these like DLC things at last year's Game Awards. They come full circle.
Yep. And then season 2.
Season
I'm
2.
very excited for that.
Unfortunately, because
Someone
it's been
take out the
done-
big Terry. He's still got one stock.
Don't take me, big guys!
There we go. Now it's all fair.
But I don't do fair.
I'm evil. Well, misunderstood.
Is someone's mic going on the fritz?
It's Aquas, but it's okay. It's indistinguishable. It's okay. Oh jeez.
Can I just say, just very random, that's one of my favorite lines from Looney Tunes Back in Action with Elmer Fudd going, well, as it turns out, I'm secretly evil.
Oh gosh, that's it for me.
And your hat fell off, too.
Holy crap!
It's all up to you,
Surrender your
Wario.
hat.
Oh jeez, Wario. Wario. He's like, I'm out of here. Where's the exit?
You're on your own, Royce.
I have taken your resolve.
Fine, I get it. You hate that I picked Wario.
I'm not okay.
Well, it's just because you're the only guy left. What are you trying to walk away, Wario, trying to pretend like this wasn't you? Go get him.
Ah!
Oh, so the bike literally vanished.
Oh,
That's just how it
what else
works.
would they do with it? Considering there's like so much on
I
screen.
just like,
We're doing good. Oh.
what?
Oh god. Touch the Terry, touch the Terry.
Do not poke me, be good sir.
Jeez, oh,
He fucking chopped him.
that was
What a way to
That
go.
was a good.
Their
that was a
life,
good
you
start.
happy?
No, Jay,
Your
hype, it's
eye.
okay. I could have done better as Terry there, but there you go in.
You may be the winner, Terry, but you have one final battle.
Wait, did the hats just phase out of the fucking... Oh, no, wait.
No,
No, wait, never mind.
they're
They're on the floor. I just realized.
That is my, and I'm glad we got to show. That is one of my favorite bits of that. Is I love how in something like this, when it zooms out like that, you get to see how it's like slow motion, and that just falls down afterwards. Just
That hat went down in style, so after I really put the effort to make sure it would fall down.
that was fun. I enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the next character and whoever they're gonna be.
Yeah.
I
So,
hope
yeah.
it's a pipe dream person, because otherwise the whole
And actually-
point of this is kind of like out of the question.
You know what? Just to appease Aqua real quick, we'll do just one more match between him and considering the fact he didn't get to actually have a get to be part of that match. Let me just switch back to one-on-ones. So who was going to be Terry and who's going to be what's his name?
I'll be Ken.
Okay, then I guess I'll be Terry.
So the
Unless you
tokens
want
of
to
the
be Ken.
No, I don't mind sticking as Terry. Honestly, weird as it is to say, I kind of prefer Terry over Ryu and Ken.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
I'm going to settle this match.
Sorry for delaying this, guys, but honestly, fair's fair. And also to be real here, we can relive our Capcom versus SNK experiences all over again.
And Death Battle.
That's right. They were technically part of the death battle, weren't
We
they?
got to do the taunt to finish.
No.
Alright, now let's do it proper. I said proper!
Oops, actually, I had the TV audio on for a second there. We're good, Tim.
That's fine. I usually keep my TV mute when we do these.
And I usually don't have my TV on, period, because again, the Elgato is just that good now.
Oh, that is
Oh,
something
yeah.
I wanted to bring up. I did bring this up in the failed attempt. Yeah, failed attempt. Well, I want to bring it up here. For people wondering why I sound a little bit clearer given the circumstances, I found out that
My knee!
whenever we do something like this, I usually like to have the call going on my phone because I figured that would save on bandwidth for Smash. Turns out it actually is a lot smoother if I use my laptop for the call instead.
Which is oddly convenient.
Convenient? I don't know how it works, but yeah. So instead of sounding like a robot, I sound, well, less like a robot.
Yeah, we discovered that fun little thing. And then I mentioned real quick is that I was probably going to be seeing Frozen 2 later this weekend, and Matt was
My
telling me
condolences.
that. And Matt was no, that's the thing. Matt was telling me that like, oh, all the reviewers
You
told me that they
cheater!
weren't going to like it. I think that's actually a good sign. I think of it like, and probably we'll be able to quote this video later. Like I was so wrong. No, but I see it up and watch that. Woo! Oh, it zooms in too fast. Anyway, I see it as if the people who liked Frozen 1 don't like Frozen 2, most likely it means one of two things. One, it did the exact same thing as Frozen 1, but somehow worse. which of course I wouldn't like that. Or 2, it was so different from Frozen 1 because it did something very different that they didn't like it. It was unfamiliar to them.
Either way, it has the Disney sequel-itis.
But I don't mind if it's something completely different. That's the chance that I'm gonna like it because I did not like Frozen 1 at all, and I will definitely go all in for something that's trying to do something new and different than Frozen 1 because that was the whole point. Frozen 1 was not different.
Makes me wonder, what you're gonna feel when you look back on this video, like maybe a few days or weeks from now, and you hear yourself saying that, and just thinking back after you've watched the Frozen 2, and it's like, On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it for our Terry Spotlight for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As we said before, there's only one more DLC character to go in this particular set. And then, well, the sky's the limit, pretty much. So,
oh yeah,
Ray 01, please put him back, Sakurai.
On that note, folks, see you all for the next one.
Bye.